Hi guys, it's James from DivyneCrochet. Welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you a tutorial on these cross appliques. I've used this as a motif for a sweater vest, but you could also use these as coasters, or I think these would be really cute appliques. To do this pattern, you only need to know how to do a chain stitch, a single crochet, and a double crochet. To make the crosses shown in this video, I used two colours of double knit cotton yarn. However, you can use whatever you have on hand. I used a 4mm hook as well as a pair of scissors. But obviously you can change the hook and yarn size if you would like to change the size of the cross. For row 1, we're going to start with a slip knot, and then we're going to chain a total of 7 chains. In this project, I'm going to be working into the back bump, but you can work into any point into the chain row that is your preference. Once you've completed those 7 chain stitches, you're going to yarn over and do a double crochet into the 4th stitch from the hook, so you're skipping a total of 3 chain stitches. You would then do 3 more double crochets, 1 stitch in each chain. Once you've worked all the way down your chain row, you should have a total of 4 double crochets as well as that chain 3 at the end. We're now going to repeat this exact same pattern 3 more times. So we'll start by chaining 7, and then from here we'll do that double crochet into the 4th chain from our hook. So we're skipping a total of 3 chain stitches before then doing 3 more double crochets. So that's 4 double crochets in total. Once you repeated that 2 more times, you should have 3 rectangles, and now this time we're going to do the exact same principle, but we're going to start by chaining 11, and then we'll still skip 3 and work into the 4th chain from our hook, but this time we should be doing a total of 8 double crochets down our row. Once you've completed this, you should be left with 4 rectangles, with one being significantly longer than the other. We're now going to slip stitch into the first chain we made right at the start of our project. Now you can see I'm going to take this rectangle and flip it down, and I'm going to work 2 single crochets around that double crochet right in the center of my cross. And I'm going to do this for each one of the rectangles. This will just close off the center of the cross and make it look a little bit neater. After completing those 8 single crochets, you should reach that first single crochet you made. We're going to slip stitch into this stitch to finish off this row. If you then want to change colours, this is where you would cut your yarn and pull your yarn through. To start row 2, whether you change your yarn colour or not, you want to turn your project. So I'm pulling my loop a little bit looser, so it's going to be easier for me. I'm then going to work a single crochet into the center of my cross. If you decided to change your yarn color here, you would do this action starting with a slip knot on your hook. From now on, we're just going to be working in between these stitches. So I've chained 2, I've skipped a space in between the double crochet and worked in a single crochet. I'm going to be doing the same here. As you can see, I caught my yarn a little bit, but the pattern is just going to be single crochet, chain 2, skip a space in between your stitches. Your final single crochet should be into that chain 3 space that we have at the end of our cross. We'll then chain 1, double crochet, then we're going to chain another one and do a single crochet. And as I'm doing these stitches, I'm going to be shuffling them along to the right hand side just so I have room to work in more stitches. From here we're going to go straight into doing 2 double crochets. Now I wanted to put a chain stitch in between these stitches just because this yarn does break and split a lot easier than I would like it to. As you can see, I'm having a bit of struggles with it, but I found just going into these 2 double crochets straight away yields a better look at the end. After doing those 2 double crochets, we're then going to chain 1, and then we're going to mirror these stitches on this side. So we'll start off with those 2 double crochets, and at this point I would move your project around just to make sure you're not doing your stitches on top of the stitches you've already done in that row. You want to make sure that you're not overlapping these stitches. So once you've done those 2 double crochets, you'll do a single crochet, chain 1, then we're going to do a double crochet, and then chaining 1 and finishing off that side with a single crochet. Now from here we're going to continue the pattern of chain 2, skip a space and work in a single crochet all the way down till we get to the center of our cross. And our final single crochet is going to go into the center of that cross, And now we're going to continue this pattern around the whole perimeter of this cross. So for the sides of the cross, we'll be chaining 2, skipping a space, and then working in a single crochet till we get to that chain 3 space. And then once we put our single crochet in there, we'll chain 1, do a double crochet, chain 1, do a single crochet, and then at this point we'll go straight into those 2 double crochets before we then chain 1 and mirror this pattern on the other side. Once you've gone all the way around your work, you'll end up at that first single crochet that you did into the center. You're going to slip stitch into this stitch, and if you're not changing colors, you would just turn your work, but since I am going to change colors, I'm going to cut my yarn and pull that yarn through before turning my work. As I said earlier, I'm doing a color change, so I'm going to start off with a slip knot on my hook before I do my pattern. In this row, we're going to be working around the stitches we made in row 2, not into them, so just bear that in mind. To start off, we're going to do 1 single crochet around the chain 2 space near the corner. And then in the chain 2 space after this, we'll be doing 2 single crochets. For this next part, it looks quite hard, but just remember that we're going to be putting 1 stitch in between each stitch we put in that chain 3 area in the row before. So we're going to start off with 1 single crochet around that chain 1 we made, then the other side of that double crochet, that's where we're going to put our next single crochet, and in between the single crochet and the double crochet we made, that's where we're going to insert our hook and do our next single crochet. Now, to make sure you've entered this into the right area, I check that in between these 2 stitches are 2 loops that go around the chain 3 space. So as you can see, either side, I've got 2 loops that go around, so I know that I've entered this stitch in the correct area. From here, our 3rd single crochet is going to go in between our 2 double crochets. We're then going to chain 2, put a double crochet in that chain 1 space, chain 2, and then we're going to mirror that pattern on the other side. So 3 single crochets, 1 in between the 2 double crochets, 1 in between the double crochet and the single crochet, and then 1 on top of that chain in between the single crochet and double crochet. Then from here, all we have to do is chain 3 and do a single crochet in that space in between the single crochet and double crochet. From here, the pattern's quite easy, where we'll put 2 single crochets into each one of the spaces made by the chains. The only ones that change is going to be the 2 sets near each corner. So as you can see, that corner, I put 1 single crochet into each, and then down this long end of the cross, I'm going to be doing 2 single crochets into each one of those chain spaces. And we're just going to continue this up till we reach our corners or the ends of our crosses, where we'll do a single crochet on top of that chain before we chain 3. Then on the other side of that double crochet on top of that chain stitch, we'll do 1 single crochet. Then in between the next 2 stitches, we'll do a single crochet. In between the next 2 stitches, we'll do a single crochet. Then from here, we're gonna chain 2, do a double crochet into the chain 1 space, that should be in the middle before we chain 2. Now in between the 2 double crochets, that's where our first single crochet is gonna go, skip a stitch, and then go in between the next 2 stitches, skip a stitch. You should be on top of that chain 1 space before we then chain 3. Your final single crochet will then go on the final chain 1 space available. From here, we're then going to do 2 single crochets in each space apart from the ones in the corners. We'll finish off with a single crochet before we then slip stitch into the first single crochet we made in that row. So that's going to be it for this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, comment and subscribe. I'll leave all of my links down below as I usually do. Definitely keep your eyes out because I have some good things coming. I've got some patterns and I might potentially be starting a few new things. So please keep your eyes out for that. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you later. Bye.